yourself. This is the day where everything starts going wrong again. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this. This is Sam Prentice Makes Things Happen. I'm Sam Prentice, back once again making them happen. And today we're talking about the ANYCUBIC Mega S, sent to me today by ANYCUBIC. Thank you very much to ANYCUBIC for sending me this wonderful printer. I actually have the Mega X just over here. Let me see if I can push that over. He's printing away, whirring away like a lawnmower on crack. Welcome along, everybody. Thank you for joining. Hello, Victor. Hello, Jerry. Oh, blimey, who else have we got here? Hello, Dennis. Hope you're well. Marissa, really good to see you guys. So I'm trying a few new things. I've got the Stream Deck. I've got different cameras and all sorts of crazy stuff as well. So it's, yeah, you know, it's coming along. It's working quite well. So without a matter of ado, let's start unboxing this bad boy. I've got two other printers to review this week, or certainly to unbox. I've got the Congro Ender 2 V2, and I bought another Ender Pro as well, just for the crack, really. Hello, Jason. I hope you're well, matey. Thank you very much for joining in and having a look. So this is the S printer, which is the smaller one, which I think is 200 by 205, I believe. It's heavy, mainly because these ANYCUBIC printers certainly tend to be all metal. So let's get inside this and have a quick look at what's going on. Let's try and change the angle up a little bit. There we go. That's what's inside. Oh, here we go. This is where I run out of room again because there is literally no space for anything. Oh, don't tell me I've opened it up upside down. No, I haven't. Good. Right. Let's move on up. Moving up. Hello, Carl. Hope you're well, matey. Thank you for joining in. So, first and foremost, what have we got in the box? We've got a bag of bits, lots of bits and pieces. This is a particularly easy printer to build, actually. So it won't take us too long, I don't think, today. Oh, my God, it is bloody heavy, though. I'm not going to lie. So this is going to be slightly smaller than the other ANYCUBIC that I recently unboxed. As you may remember, I did have a small issue with that, with the fact that the board blew up on me. So that was a bit of a shame. And the other issue with that particular printer, and I'm suspecting probably this one as well, is that they are really noisy. They're like they're like a lawnmower. It's insane. It's like old Creality, like 6 years ago. It's proper bad. But I did see on Tim DeWitt's channel today that he's got one of these as well, and he's upgraded it with Trinamic stepper drivers. And I was kind of impressed with the fact that you don't have to sort of mess around with too much on it other than measuring the tolerances on the VREF. So I'm probably going to do that on both of these printers, and certainly if this one is as noisy as that one is, the quality's not too bad, but you know, it's noisy. It's noisier than I'd like it to be, and certainly with all the other printers that I've got in here, it's far too noisy to kind of do live streaming and 3D print at the same time. It's just, I don't know if the mic's picking any of this up, but it's really noisy in here. But anyway, this is going to be a nice, easy one, I hope. Unless we get fire, which, you know, you never know. You never know with some of these. And certainly if we're going to get it, probably tomorrow's going to be the date to tune in and have a look at some of the stuff that I've got going on, because we've got some refurbished printers from Congro, and certainly the last one they sent me was a real shocker. I'm going to say it as it is. They've given me an affiliate link, so if you do want to buy one of these, they're giving you discounts by putting my name in, which is nice. But again, it's entirely up to you. But if you're not new to 3D printing, say you've been doing it for a while and you kind of know your way around an Ender and you know your way around Creality products, it could be a good one, certainly to get involved with. So, the ANYCUBIC Mega S, I wanted the, they do a slightly larger version than this, which is called the Chiron, I think, something along those lines. But they wouldn't send that to me, so they would send me this one, but not the other one. So there you go. So some of the stuff I do like about this, it's a Dual Z, all metal, and you know, it's got a V6 hot end, and they always give you a spare as well. So that's kind of interesting. Let's whack that down to there. Let's have a look what we got in the box. So we've got some bags. We've got the usual snippers, tools. Oh, another one of these things. If you're looking to have a barbecue, this could be the flipper on the barbecue pit. We've got the usual blue wire. We've got a power connector as well. We've got a test tube with a nozzle unblocker. And they do give you another V6 hot end, which is basically plug and play. I've not had to change the other one yet, mainly because the board blew up. Then we've got the spool holder, tiny little bit of filament spool, a setup manual on how to put everything together, install the frame, and an ANYCUBIC FQC pass card. So that's what's in the box. Not really too much of a surprise, I don't think. ANYCUBIC have great sale on at the moment. Planning to get one for, hang on a minute, let's see what this is. Planning to get one for my first resin print. Yes, I mean ANYCUBIC, if you know anything about the 3D printing world, you kind of got Elegoo and ANYCUBIC, certainly ANYCUBIC with the wash station. And I know Jerry as well has got one of the big Mono X resin printers as well. So definitely go and check that video out. And if you're thinking of buying one of these, also check DeWitt's video out on how to upgrade the stepper drivers, because it was pretty cool. I sent him a message earlier and he was like, yeah, all you have to do is this. I was like, okay, cool. But for the price of the machine, I kind of feel like really and truly it should really come with those stepper drivers. We're talking about a few bucks. Plus, they're already in Shenzhen. They can do a deal on these things, install it, job done. So I don't know why they're putting out these awful. I mean, it's so noisy. It's almost unbearable. And it's one of those things. So years ago when I had a CR10, the 300 version, the first one with the single Z, you could hear that outside whirring away. And I'd kind of it's almost like a tinnitus kind of noise. Very, very annoying. But either way, I seem to be getting really, really good results out of it. And that I think is mainly down to the fact that this is a rail system as well. So the rails do add stability, and, you know, for the money, it's actually pretty cool. So, you know, it might not float your boat. It might not be the one for you, but at the end of the day, I've had quite a good sort of results with this one up until when it blew up. We still don't know really what really caused that, but I think it might have been something to do with the X-axis, because the when I took it apart, it was all blown to bits. So we shall see what's going on with that. Good. Okay. Have we got any questions? Hey, Sam. Hello, Nonstick. Hope you're well. You started a few minutes ago. Yeah, well, you know what? This is the thing, right, with YouTube, is that I figured I'd sort of start a little bit early, and then I saw people were there, and then people were dropping off, and, you know, I was doing my press ups. I was getting ready for this mighty morphing week of live streaming. I think I'm only going to do 3 streams this week, and one of them will be obviously the Friday stream with the Droid guys that we're kind of involved with now. With doing some of these bits and bobs on a Friday night at midnight, or Saturday morning at midnight, depending on what you want to call it. And as I say, so today is going to be about this. Tomorrow is going to lead on to the Ender 3 V2. It's not a printer that I've got. And then the Ender Pro is going to go into... so I bought a couple of Enders, which are kind of over here at the moment, whirring away in the background. Got loads of new projects that are coming up as well. So, you know, it kind of makes sense for me to kind of get this stuff in. I've also got the MakerMade 300X coming as well. That should be here in about a week or so. I know they're just working out the last kind of bits of configuration. So that's going to be a printer that you've probably not heard of, probably not seen. And I'm quite excited about it because, you know, I like companies that are sort of progressive within the marketplace. And MakerMade are, you know, quite well known now for the CNC machine, which, you know, if you know anything about what I did on YouTube to start with, which was CNC machining. But obviously 3D printing is a hell of a lot easier, and a hell of a lot easier to pack up and send it to me from China. So anyway, it's all good fun. Happy days. Right then, this is a very simple setup. I think it's either 4 bolts or it's 8 bolts. Might be 8 bolts, but it is super simple. I mean, that's pretty much it put together. A couple of cables plugged in and you're sort of done. So, you know, certainly if you are new to the 3D printing world and maybe you don't really want to sort of touch boards, you don't want to get involved with stuff too much, and certainly if you bought anything on Kickstarter, not mention any names, tripods, but Oh, who's that? Look, there he is. There's Tripod, little monkey. So on my, I don't know if you're going to hear this either, but I've got a little button with his face on it. So when I press this button, I've also got a thing for super chat. So if you want to spend any money on a super chat, you get like a special thing that plays. So this is the one for Tripod when he comes on.
La, 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 la. It's the motherfucker Johnny Baby G.
Might not be very clear actually, but you know, it's a little shout out to Tripod there. It was perfect timing. Hey, little monkey. Yeah, that's what we like. It's what we like. So this is going to be a bitch to get in, but here we go. This is where you could really do with a second person here, holding stuff. And I'll tell you now, today it's been cold as hell. Cold as hell. Perfect timing. Yeah, it was perfect timing. What are you up to? You're in the office today, right, Tripod? So I'm guessing you're like, I can only imagine you've got your own office and you're on like the 6th floor and you look out and it's awesome. And, you know, you have people working for you. You've got your own secretary who's bringing you coffees. Where me, you see, I'm trying to do 3D printing videos holding printer parts with my chin. So, you know, consider yourself lucky. At least you got a dog to do some of your handiworks, right? Anyway, very simple design here, guys. It's the usual kind of bed slinger style 3D printing malarkey that we're used to. Yeah, so there's 4 on each side here. And once you get the first one in, you're going to get yourself going. If you're cold, lay on the... Tell you what, man. I'll tell you what, right? I've got 1, 2, 3... Hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 printers going at the moment, and it's still cold in here. We had snow today, and also sunshine, which is just bizarre. I think it must be like a global warming thing. I don't know. It's had a bit of snow over my way today. Yeah, I mean, like, you asleep? What? Oh, okay. You went to sleep at 10 a.m. Why? What were you doing? Do you work nights or something? Everyone's outsourced. I just sit. Oh, okay. Well, at least you got to go into work, right? Count yourself lucky. So this is nice, especially like even the Ender printer takes, I don't know, 10, 15, 20 minutes to build. This isn't going to take too long to put together. And I was thinking of possibly making a few videos on the Ender 3. And, you know, some sort of significant upgrades, really, that you can do in now to kind of make that printer relevant. So I've ordered a couple of boards from Big Tree Tech to literally just upgrade them and kind of demonstrate how that's done and stuff. Man, I'm getting messages galore at the moment. Just got home for the second half of the day. You've got odd sleeping patterns. Man, I tell you what, going to bed at 10, that is odd. That is very odd. Lay on the heated bed, yeah. So I hope you guys are well. If you've got any questions about this particular printer, and I know someone said a little bit earlier on. Hello, Mark. How you well? Hope you're well, mate. They do have a sale on at the moment. They've got this kind of Easter sale going on. They're pushing these printers pretty hard right now. And I don't quite know why. I don't know if it's because they've got old stock they want to get rid of. But as I said before, these printers have got a rail system on them, which you'll see here and here, and that's on the Z's and that's on the X and the Y as well. So, you know, for a printer with reasonably high stability, I do think, unless it's on a really good deal, any printer that's over 300 quid that doesn't have Trinamic stepper drivers in it now, you know, I think the producers of those need to really take a good hard look at themselves. In fact, if Tim's about, I'd really like to hear Tim's view on this stuff. And also, I will just pop this in. If anybody does want to drop in, you're more than welcome. Let me see if I can whack the banner around. Here we go. If you do want to drop in, let me just remove that one. Otherwise, you won't be able to see anything. And I'll hit this button here. If you want to drop in, please feel free to. I'll share it in the chat as well, just in case. Hopefully that'll still be the same thing. Otherwise, no, it's not. It's something else. Here we go. So we're back to StreamYard tonight. We did try Melon for a little bit, but I reached out to those guys and said that it wasn't quite what we were looking for. But I could see people kind of migrating over to that because it's a good platform for sort of 1080p, but not really catering to the kind of reviewing and unboxing market and kind of group chats that we've sort of become accustomed to during lockdown. They've kind of got a slightly different direction, I think, but it's been interesting. It's been interesting to say the least. So another notable thing on these printers is that a lot of the gear that's on it, certainly when it comes down to stepper motors, they have got like a red glue on it. I don't know if I can show you that. It's just behind the logo here. There's a red kind of hot glue, and they've used that on all the connectors, which I thought was quite a good idea, up until the point where I actually had to remove it because I thought I had a dodgy stepper driver on something. And it came off with reasonable ease. But as I say, you're basically nocturnal. Amazing. I wish I was. Man alive. If I could catch up on some sleep, I'd be very, very happy. And it's only going to get worse, of course. So when you get a chance, what are the lights behind you? They are so sparkly. Okay. So this is a project. If you do have a little search on my YouTube, don't forget to subscribe and give this video a little like. If you do have a little look around there, you will find a thing called X Lights. So I'm part of a group that deals with holiday lighting, which is kind of weird in the UK because we don't really do that here. It's more of an American thing. But there's a company called Build a Light Show, and they basically sell a Chinese branded light show service, and you can basically freely. Cheers, Mark. Oh, I can press my button. Here we go. Are you ready? Here we go.
Super chat.
There you go, look. That's what happens. I don't know if you can hear that or if you need to hear it through the microphone, so it's kind of weird. But thanks, Mark. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you, sir. It's very nice of you, sir. That keeps the wheels going in here, you see. So the thing's called X Lights. It's an open source piece of software. You can obviously donate to them and stuff to get things going, but you buy these LEDs and then you wire them up, and then you program them to kind of work on your house. So you kind of have like a CADed version of your house, and then you draw the lines of where the lights are going to go, and then you can sync the whole thing so it's light and sound. And I did a big show at Halloween, and then I did a big show throughout the whole of Christmas, which is cool in lockdown. We had people sort of sat on the curb outside the house, and it kind of made sense to do it at that point. But now that I'm so kind of busy with various things, it's going to be tricky to do it this year. But I will probably still do it regardless. So there you go. So good thing about this printer, obviously, as we've spoken about, it's an all metal frame. It's dual Z. It's got a filament run out sensor, which ironically, if you've watched my video the other day on the BQBX, which is just over to my left-hand side here, which is working now. We've had some issues with it, and it had a Z switch on it, and it also had auto bed leveling. And of course, the two kind of counted each other off, and there was firmware issues and all sorts of crap on that. So trying to work on getting StreamYard buttons to work through StreamYard audio clips without killing the video source. Yeah, you're gonna have to do that through OBS, I think. Anyway, so that's now working now, and there's some, again, a community firmware, because for whatever reason none of these companies seem to be able to make and produce a functioning printer straight out of the box, especially when they put it on Kickstarter. So bear that in mind if you're thinking of if you're ever thinking of doing anything as crazy as sponsoring something or following something on Kickstarter. Man alive, think again, because I'll tell you now, there are some real whack jobs out there when it comes to sponsoring stuff. And then the community's left to then pick up the pieces, which, you would have seen that with the CR6, and you're certainly going to see that with the BQBX as well. And, for all intents and purposes, they are pretty good printers. And I'm dead impressed with it. There we go. So again, it's plug and play. So there's a couple of little things to plug into the side there. I'll zoom in on that. Keep keeping. What's that? I'm keeping the leg tripod. Oh dear. Shocker. Absolute shocker. Right, let's go to a different view and see what we can see here. So again, as per usual, we want to make sure that you are checking this for your country voltage. I'm on 220. You might be on 110 if you're in the US of A. On the front here, you have a lovely touchscreen, but it actually is a little bit annoying after a while. And there are certain things on it, and certainly with the X, that I really hate, where you might go back down here, but then it'll give you another menu and you have to go back up here. And it's just a little bit out of sync for me, which is kind of annoying. So I hope maybe they've changed that. Who knows? This is the plug and play part that I was talking about. So in here, I don't even know what that's for. So there's a little button down here, which I guess is going to be for the filament run out sensor, which again is just here. Plug that baby in, just like that, he says. There we go. And what else are we missing? There's one more thing. So it's the heat bed. So where is the heat bed? Are we under here? Hey, where's the cable for that? That's a bit odd. There is no... So last time I did this, there was a cable under here, but that goes into here. So that's a bit screwy. Okay. I wonder if... Let me double check that. It comes out and goes up to the heat bed. So there should be another cable. Definitely. Dun, 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 dun. Where is the cable? Yep, the Z's are in. The X and Y's are in. Hey, that's a bit strange. Let's see what your comments are on here. Oh, look at that. Yeah, if I get the same number of likes and viewers, I will do a jig. Well, I don't mind doing a jig. I can, I'm no Joe Telling, but, I'll do a jig if people want to keep liking and smashing that subscribe button. I'm a bit worried now because I'm pretty sure that goes down to the heated bed, but it's just, there's nothing there. And I've got no more cables to plug in for it. All right, well, I'll tell you what we do then. We plug it in anyway, because that's how we do it here. That's how we do it, YouTube. Right. Are you ready? Okay, so this one is a little annoying little beep instead of... Right, what does it say on here now? Because there's something definitely not right. SD card. It's seeing the thermistor, so that would indicate that... Oh, man, that sounds rough. What's going on with that? I don't know if you guys can hear this, but that sounds awful. Can you hear that? There's a lot of love going on this channel tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on with you guys. My word. Ooh la la. Well, I'll tell you what we do is we hit the print button. This is what I'm talking about, right? So if I go to print, return is up the top here. I don't know if that's the best one to look at. Go to tools and I go to access. That's not on that one. It returns down here all of a sudden. If I go to preheat, it turns down here instead of being up here. So we've hit the ABS button. So possibly for this printer, let's home everything as well. See what happens. Nothing apparently. There you go. That's it. Oh, here we go. No. Maybe I'm just a bit premature. What is going on? I've got another one. Yes. I've got no idea what is going on now. Try to come out of this menu. Home. Home all. Home all. Home all. All right, let's try home on the Z. Let's try home on the X. Let's try home on the Y. Nothing is happening. Nothing at all is happening. I can smell the bed heating up. And this bed, if it does finally work, We can't see the screen at the top. Okay, right. Of course. Let me get rid of that then. Sorry, guys. Bear with me for a moment. That's a school by error, that is. There we go. Right, let's move that out of the way. Okay, so what I was saying is, so you see return at the top here. So you press that, but then there are some menus where your return is actually down the bottom here. So you've got to press that and mess around with that. But for some reason, again, we're nearly up to temperature on the hot end, and it has been pre-tested. Let's make sure everything's in, and I mean everything's. I don't know. It's weird. Got another weird one. How exciting! Right, so let's try and home this again. So we've got return at the top, tools, preheat access. Let's see if we can move anything. Okay, so the bed's moving. Let's just check. So that makes me think now, actually, there might be something else that's hidden here somewhere. The bed's in. There's no other cables. Let's double check. There are no other cables. So on this other one, there are definitely other cables, and they go to. Ah, okay. Something under here, possibly then. Unless it's hidden. Nope, nothing in there. Hang on. What have we got here, ladies and gentlemen? We've got another hidden cable. Looky, looky. There you go, look. If you didn't know before, what I'll do actually, just before I plug this in, I will switch it back off again. So that's why the X and Y axis sits into there. And I'll try and turn this around so you guys can see it. And I'll give it a little twist up here. So you've got a red cable, a green cable, and a black cable here. It actually turned out that this little red baby was right up the back here. And that's why we couldn't get to that one. But there we go. Right, what's these? What are we saying here, guys? Questionable UI design. Yeah, I mean, the thing is with this, Gary, is that I think there's stuff that can be done to make this better. Without question. But I don't think any of these companies really give a crap about that situation. I think they're more like I don't know. They're more about just selling the printer. They don't really care about the aftercare of the printer, or actually even if it physically works. So, but what we'll say is when the other one went wrong, within a week they'd sent me a replacement power supply, replacement Z's, two of those with the motors, and a motherboard with the stepper drivers on it. So actually it was pretty good. The service was impeccable. Which is a lot better than, say, some of the other companies that I could mention, but won't. So let's home this now. Oh, my God, that didn't sound good. Okay, here we go. So this is what I'm talking about, the noise, especially with this Z. I mean, it's not the best. It's not the best. It is noisy. It's very noisy. Reminds me of a pop station. Okay. So the good news about this is there are two Z screws on either side here, and you can level this up. There's two little like lead screws left and right here, and you can kind of make that go up and down, and that will obviously level the gantry to the bed and the bed to the frame and all that kind of crazy stuff. What's this? Wondering if Sam ever had a build go smoothly on a live stream, or is something dodgy? Let's see how the bed. Okay, yeah, all right, fair enough, tripod. I see your point. Let's just have a look over here. Don't forget, guys, if you do want to drop in and say hello, you are quite welcome to do so. Yeah, well, thank you, Mr. Tripod. I think I've had some streams that have been good, right? It's progressive. It's progressive, surely. Okay, so let's look at how we disable the stepper motors. There's a preheat pattern here. The homing button is the no, it's not in there. There's a next reset, filament, cooling, help. Help! Right. Better not shout that too loudly. Let's have a look. Right, let's turn the motors off then in that case. And, you know, this hasn't got auto bed leveling or anything like that. So it is kind of what it is. And we're not far off, actually, if you're that way inclined for bed leveling. That's not bad out of the box. I think we just give that a little tickle on the back. The springs on these are pants, by the way. They are. You'll want to replace those things. They will work, but nothing really beats those yellow screws, in my opinion. What the hell is that? Oh, what a classic! What a classic! Oh well, the BX has just failed the game. Oh dear. I love this. I'm going to show you this. Hang on. So over here, oh, hang on. We've cut out. Why have we cut out? Oh man, live. I don't know if I can show you this. Let me see if I can set this back up again. Let me move this around. I don't know if I can show it to you. Oh my God, what is going on? So I love this. I love this. So the BQBX. Oh man, what a mess. Oh my God. So the BQBX is a printer that I just did an unboxing with last week. It has got a lot of problems with it. Firmware is a little bit iffy. It's been printing quite nicely, and then it's quite obviously had a layer shift, and then it's completely shifted and just taken everything off and run around with it. Unfortunately, I can't show you the print, but I'll tell you what I could do. Hang on. Let me show you this. So when stuff like this happens, it's obviously not good. Put the camera. So as you can see, it's started to go AWOL and all over the place. It looks like a good printer, but man, it's got some bugs in it. Riddled with bugs. Right, what does Tripod have to say for himself now? Yes, there's always surprises. Yeah, but, you know, that's the thing, isn't it, though? You know, you see a lot of these guys on YouTube telling you that these are fantastic printers and why you should buy them, and here's my affiliate link and blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. It's all bullshit. It's them just coining it in a lot of the time. And, you know, this is real. Hence the name. Right, let's see if we can get the SD card in. Let's get up to temperature. No. Oh, honestly. So I think there's a marlin. They do a marlin patch for this as well. And I think I'd like to possibly try that out because it's not ideal. All right, let's turn it up. Let's get it up. Oh, God. Right, we hit OK on that. So these things do run a possible 32-bit board, but there's a limitation to them, which is kind of annoying. And the limitation is, where's that bloody menu gone? Preheat. Preheat ABS. There we go. The limitation is quite an interesting one because they've obviously got their proprietary UI here. Well, there goes your money. There goes your money thingy for saying it. Well, it is bullshit. I mean, you can't look. Let's have an example on that, right? So, the Kickstarter stuff. Number one, Kickstarter did this. They said, "Oh well, we'll send you this printer, but it might be an 8-bit board." We're talking about the CR6. Oh, so they send all these 8-bit boards out to all these YouTubers. The YouTubers review them and go, "Yeah, it's fantastic. It's an 8-bit board, and they're going to do a 32. So why would you not want to waste your money?" And they had millions of pounds out of people, or millions of dollars off of people, and it's then been down to the community to fix those problems. The BQBX is in the same boat. They rushed it out the door to get these things fulfilled. It's not great. I love the printer because it looks awesome, but give me an Ender 3 because it works. Again, it all depends what you want to do. Would you rather have, I don't know, there's a lot of Americans on here, so would you rather have, I don't know, a Trans Am that worked, or would you rather have a Lamborghini with no engine? It's the same but different. And it does frustrate me because these machines are going out the door untested. And of course, with Kickstarter, there's no comeback on it anyway. So if they want to help you, they'll help you. If they want some integrity, well, maybe they'll have that. Who knows? But again, this is just my opinion. What does my opinion stand for? Probably nothing. Yeah, Lamborghini with no engine. I couldn't wait for that. At least you could stand next to it, I suppose, but which is pretty much like the BQBX right now. I can stand next to it and say, hey, do you like my 7-inch screen? And probably people will say, no, actually, I don't. I'm not that impressed with it, Sam. And then it'll be the story of my life. Anyway, we won't go down that route. I'm not here for your pity. Hello. Who's that? Who's that logging on? Oh, my God. Ladies and gentlemen, he needs no introduction, but I'm going to push the button anyway. Here we go.
La 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 la, it's the mother trucker Johnny Baby T.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Hey, can you hear me okay?
I can hear you just fine. The sun's obviously good on you today because your face is looking radiant.
I figure I got about 15 minutes. I didn't get a lunch break yet, so I could hop in for a few seconds to give you shit. So,
well, yeah, thanks for that.
And plus, I wanted to test my Stream Deck on your channel. So
let's do it.
So I got my cameras set up here so I can toggle. Oh, what's that? Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at that. That's about a 2-stone lighter, I think. That's my brother, Guy Prentice. Wow. Did
the audio come through okay on that?
No, we didn't hear a word.
You didn't?
No, I thought it was that muted one where I came on your channel. I was completely muted.
Yeah, it was. It was.
Wow. Well,
I'm like, how do I not have any? I don't do any of the editing on this machine. I do it on another machine. I'm like, how do I not have any video clips on here? And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have that one from like a year ago on here from when we first did our first live stream. So yeah, I wanted to see if the audio would come through, but apparently it didn't.
Quite. No, not quite on that one. But again, I think it's an integration thing, and obviously it's got to go through your computer and obviously be sent somewhere. So certainly if you're on StreamYard, I think you'll find that it needs to have some integration between that and whatever
I'm using OBS. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
I just messed around with it a little bit yesterday, and then I see a picture of me on your stream deck of my 80s.
Yeah. Well, and I thought it was funny because I thought maybe you were testing me. Oh, did you watch my channel? Did you watch my review? And I'll be like, yeah, of course I did. And I was like, hold up.
Hold on, what's that? What's that? An
Here he is.
tripod.
There's a mullet. Jason M, only 2-stone lighter. Wow. Lockdown's been tough on me, dude. I'm telling you now.
Yes, I would rather go for the nice Trans Am fully loaded with an engine.
Oh, you would? Okay.
Yeah, I mean, what's the point of having a Lamborghini or Ferrari with no engine? When it's going to cost, that's one of the most priciest parts of the car.
Exactly right. And that's the funny thing, because Luke did a sterling job, I thought, on whatever this is. It's worrying, man. It really is quite worrying. And I'm sure I'm going to get some messages and some shit from people as well about it. But, I just want it to work. I just want it to bloody work. And, you get it. And that's the thing. It's time and it's a commodity. So your time is valuable because you can't get that back. And the commodity is things like filament, and it's not cheap. So,
no,
here I am wasting yet another, I don't know, a couple of meters of filament on a printer that's worth a dog shit. It's, out of the box, it hasn't worked properly. Even the prints I got out of it weren't great. So, but I do love Big Tree Tech stuff. But this printer, maybe that's why it's called BQ instead of Big Tree Tech. Maybe they thought,
that always confused me too.
We'll hang you guys out to dry on this one. Enjoy that. And that's where we're up to. I don't know. And it just seems to me that Luke is the only person that's doing any support across the whole board, which I think is piss poor. And I think you know, if he's not being paid $1 million for the support and the shit that he's putting up with, you know, more fool those guys, because he's the only one that's actually giving a shit about what they're doing. So there you go.
That's the problem is that when you are as big as that, and then you're basically now their tech support. You're saying that this printer is all it can be, and then other people are experiencing other things. It's like, wait. That's the problem, is that these YouTubers are getting these machines early on.
Yep.
They only have it for a couple days. They print and okay, it's done. Me, I kick the tires for at least 2 weeks before I do my review of it.
And you've got to. The unboxing thing is one thing, right? When you do an unboxing, it is what it is. And you do a print, and you know, whatever happens, happens. It is what it is. But you know, and you've got to give people the benefit of the doubt as well. You've got to be like, hey, you know what? Let's try and get it working. If we can get it working, then I can show how it's been done and why it works and how it's, you know, what the turmoil is that I've gone through. It's got a Raspberry Pi on the back of it that cost me, I don't know, $60, and that won't work. Can't get that to integrate properly with it. And again, I don't want to be sat there doing their support. I need to be, you know, it needs to be coming to me in a fashion that is well wrapped and, you know, like a delicatessen, and it's beautiful. I don't want to be messing around for weeks, piss-arsing around with it, trying to get stuff to work. It's not on.
This Genius, the Artillery Genius, is the only printer out of the box that worked as it should. Out of the box, everything worked. It printed great, and you know, I mean, as far as overhangs and all that, it exceeded my expectations of a printer for its price point.
Well, that's what you want. That is literally what you want. That's to be fair, Tripod.
Oh, look at this.
What's that?
Someone's in love with their CR6 Max.
Hey, don't get me wrong. The CR6, excellent. I mean, I'm getting some awesome prints out of that.
Okay, again, mine probably fell off the back of the truck that was built on Friday by a person that has less limbs than me.
Right. Okay.
So I mean, there's people out there, I've said it many times, that receive a great product, and there's some, you know, that get the lemon.
Yeah. And
I just stopped putting a lot of effort into that machine until I get the next upgrade for it. Now, I'm sure it will. Hey, when I did my review, the prints were absolutely amazing after the first couple layers. I mean, it was out of the box. It printed beautifully, but lately, it's been dodgy. So,
yeah, well, to say the least. Yes, you're absolutely right. Right, I'm gonna. So the print file you get on this is the owls. You know the owls. Incidentally, I had those at my wedding, and I did a modified version for my best man, and I did a Batman head for him. So I'm just going to do this on the fly. If it needs to be trimmed or whatever, then I shall do that. I don't know if you can hear how loud this thing is. It does need to be trimmed. So that's come up.
These owls?
Yeah, the owls. You know the little owl print?
Well, I did these owls. I don't know if it's the same. If it's 2 owls or just 1 owl.
2 owls.
These?
No, it's slightly different to those.
Okay. That's as far as I get with doing caricatures. So.
Okay, that's.
Well, Carl, and that's the thing that, you know, my closing monologue, so to speak, on the CR6 SE was that people find it acceptable behavior. And I had a nice, you know, correspondence with the troll just a couple of weeks ago on there. And I said, hey, I told you if you're a fanboy or anything, just don't listen, don't watch, just move on, because this isn't for your ears, because it'll hurt them. Yeah, I mean, they invite people to these Facebook groups because I used to participate in a lot to help people on there. And I just, first off, don't have the time and resources anymore to do it. And it's, people just say, hey, just grow up. This is what this is how it's expected.
Don't know if you guys can see that, but I'll show you the, sorry, this camera's a bit dodgy, but this is the stuff I've got going on over here at the moment. So I've got the X, which is printing that yellow dome. I've got that mess, which is the BX up there. At the top left-hand corner, printed that orange print. That's the CR6. I've got the Q5 to the right of that, and then I've got a couple of enders just below that are currently printing. I've got an S5 down here, and obviously this one, and then on the floor I've got the 2 more printers down there, and then I've got the G-Tech jobby as well. But so far so good with this one, it looks like. So, you know, reasonably happy with the way that's kind of turning out, which obviously isn't too bad. It seems to me though that I do have a couple of screws missing. I know what you're thinking. It does look like there are a couple of things missing, just screw-wise, but it's only like 2 screws. So I'm sure I've got a box of screws somewhere, which would basically just hold the filament sensor on, filament spool on, rather. But again, it looks like we've got a good printer here at the moment. It seems to be, it's loud. That's the only thing. It is, you know, the other one is screeching away in the background, which I don't know if the microphone's going to pick that up, but they have got those old school drivers in them, you know, the ones that nobody else wanted. I think they are. You know, they are.
That thing just looks like it's built like a tank. I mean, it's so beefy, the base and the gantry.
Yeah, but these rails are the ones that are going to really keep that in a good condition. So, you know, you're not going to get any deviation. Even if you've got things like the Z-rods or whatever kind of wobbling about, you're going to have some good... who's this? Someone's tried to log on here. Here's at the Real Sam Prentice. What is this all about? Come on then. Hello?
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 Is that the Real Sam Prentice?
It certainly is. Is that you, Nanny?
No, not Nanny.
Who are we speaking with then?
Yeah, this is the Real Sam Prentice.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Very nice.
Sam with a cup of tea.
You got a cup of tea? Oh, that's probably Mark then. Well, that was interesting. It could be worse, I suppose. Unbelievable. Is it because it's built in China? They get away with it. I bought something in the UK that didn't work and I returned it for the money. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you are completely right. And this is why sometimes it's ideal to buy. So in the UK, we've got a couple of dealers over here. We've got like the technology outlet. We've got a few people there. And you know, your consumer rights are different than ordering something online in China, right? So if it's come out of Shenzhen or even if it's come out of certain parts of Europe and you're shipping this stuff to the UK, we do have consumer rights. And that allows you within 30 days to claim your money back. So if you buy something via your credit card, via PayPal, you are quite within your rights to get your money back on that particular purchase. So, you know, but again, what I will say about these guys, the ANYCUBIC guys, is they didn't mess around. As soon as I said, I have a problem, they came back and said, what's the diagnosis? Because they don't know who they're speaking to. Might know if I've got one printer, might be my first printer, or if I've got 20, you know. And I went back to them and said, here's the sound, here's the video of when it smoked. And they said, we're going to send you a new Meanwell power supply. We're going to send you 2 of these Z-axis rods, which, you know, obviously I can't send them back. They won't want them back, I don't think. And a new motherboard. And then I see, you know, Tim's done an old video where I've got to show you this. Hang on a minute. So this is my top fan. He's got a curtain dedicated to me and Lee, in his house. How are you, Mark?
Not too bad, Sam. You?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Not too bad. How are you enjoying the curtains?
Ah, love them.
That's that Jason. That's 4 stone ago. That's anorexic Sam Prentice before the Easter eggs and sitting down editing YouTube videos all day. Just so you know. So Mark. So the story is, if you don't already know about this, Mark had a awful pair of curtains, and that pair of curtains were crowdfunded, and the Droid Builder guys basically made some curtains up for them. The Michael Badley printed droids basically hosted all that stuff, and then basically Mark got a pair of curtains. So dreams do come true, don't they, Mark?
They certainly do, Sam.
So Mark, also you run into freeze, right?
Say that again.
See you later, tripod. He's got to go. Oh, what's he playing at now? Are you going?
Well, yeah, I'm gonna go, but look, I got a bigger ducky.
How have you got a bigger one?
You'll be on my next video coming out. How I got that bigger ducky.
Well, that's tripod, everybody.
See ya.
Ta-ra, tripod.
La, 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 it's the motherfucker Johnny Baby.
Oh, great! I can't wait for Friday. See you later, everyone. I gotta get back to work.
Take care. Take care. So just while you're on, Mark, you've got an end of 3, haven't you? Or is it an end of?
Yeah, end of 3. Yeah.
End of 3. How are you getting on?
As I said, I've had teething problems with it, but that's just nothing major. It's since I had it from the Christmas meet when we first met at the well, not when we first met, but the Christmas meet at our event convention. It's actually been printing brilliant. I've had some really quality prints off it, and I mean quality prints. I've just now gone and brought the SR5.
The Delta printer.
No, sorry, the Creality the S5.
The S5, right? Okay, you're gonna have fun with that.
I've gone and brought that off John.
Okay.
So
deep breath, then. Deep breath. He's upgraded that though, isn't he?
yes, he's going to put a direct drive on it as well for me.
Okay. That's because John's getting a rat rig, isn't it?
Yeah.
No, that's nice. That's good. But as I say, I've bought 3 end of 3s, or been sent them, or whatever you might want to call it, from Comgrow. They've got a sale on this week. If you add in refurbished printers, so I'm doing this thing on refurbished printers that people have sent these back. They've been apparently refurbished and certified, and then tomorrow I'm going to basically be doing some unboxing and kind of see what I end up with. So I thought it might be quite interesting and progressive, and then I'm going to upgrade them. So if you've got one and you're having problems with it, or if you want to make it go quicker, or if you want to make it silent or whatever, I'll be doing a whole thing on that as well. I thought that would sort of diversify the up-teen unboxing videos that I am doing. And again, there are some printers out there that to be honest, I had no need for this particular printer, but they wouldn't do the big printer. They'd only do the smaller one. And I can already see, I mean, it's chomping at the bit. It really is chomping at the bit. It is, I think it's going to be a workhorse. So just when you least expect it, and I sort of see that, I don't know, actually, I think on the other one, on the X, it doesn't have the rails at the top. It's actually just on the belt. So you've only got that on. So this will probably be the better printer off the two, actually, due to the fact that it's not going to be jerking around and moving about. I might be able to run that a little bit quicker. So it could be interesting. Again, I think it's a 200. I didn't even read how big the bed was, but I think it's 200 or so. Maybe someone can tell me. Who knows how big this bed is? It should be in the description down below. Right, let's have a little look. I think it's 205. That's where he's going. At least you buy refurbished printers. I just buy them cheap off marketplace. Well, yeah, I mean, like I say, if you know what you're doing, it's all good. But what my thing is with this is that, again, you're buying a refurbished product, and are they actually refurbished? I can tell you, I can guarantee you 100% the Ender that I bought off Comgrow a couple of weeks ago. And the reason that this all stuff is all happening is because it was a bag of crap and it didn't work properly, and there were problems with it straight away. Oh, it's 220 by 220 by 235, this bed. Thank you. Again, so a little bit smaller, I think, than the Ender by 5 mil. But it's whizzing along nicely at the moment. It's I'll go back over to the other camera. Let's just see if sorry about this dodgy rig I've got here. Here we go. We'll just have a quick look at that. It's whizzing away at the moment. And I think with Trinamic stepper drivers, I think it could be quite a good, reasonable printer, actually, thinking about it and looking at it here. But okay, so Jason's saying 210. Yovav is saying 220. So I think it's 210 by 210 by 215 or something. I think there's a weird third dimension on it. Anyway, it's in the description, I think. So happy day. So Mark, what are you up to at the moment?
Just printing some parts off the Eggbot and doing a bit of modification in Fusion.
Okay, so how's that looking?
It's all right at the moment. Yeah, not too bad. Got some parts off of filler priming some parts this morning. this afternoon when I come home from work. Sorry. So yeah, not too bad at all. I'm just I will be doing the dome in a wee bit because that's the only thing that's going to print on my bed. So because the body won't fit on there.
No, so I was quite lucky. So just to answer your question there, Marissa, I didn't have to level the bed that much. Basically, I just dropped the Z's down, and I could. I know it's weird. It's one of those things when you're used to leveling beds like that, you can kind of do it on the fly. So yeah, it's 210 by 210 by 205. This one, I printed. So I'll show you this very quickly. This is the egg bot. I did the body, and I wasn't quite happy with the dome. You can see here. I printed this on, believe it or not, the BQBX, and I've got this split through the middle. Now I can repair that, but I thought now that I've got the other ANYCUBIC X set up, and that's a 300 bed or 310 or whatever it is, I thought I'd give it a go. And actually, the quality of that print is pretty staggering as well at the moment. So now that I've got the parts replaced and parts repaired, the tracks are done on it. And again, you'll see more about that on our Friday show with Jerry and I think Marcel and Jason and all the rest of the guys and Tripod, of course. I can dream of being able to level a bed so easily then. So what have you got, Marissa? If you want to jump on, you can jump in wherever. I'm probably going to stream for a little bit longer. And, if you want to jump on, here's the chat link. But, bed leveling it's not really an art. I mean, you've just got to understand how the 3D printer works, I suppose, because it's not just leveling the bed, it's also leveling the gantry, and it's making sure everything's square. So if one thing is out, you're going to get kind of awkward prints. And again, with this particular printer, and certainly with the Ender printers as well, you'll find that replacing the springs on those for the orange springs. Cool. Yeah, come on in.
I said I upgraded mine on mine, Sam, to the orange springs and the aluminium extruder.
Yeah, and I mean the other thing is glass bed on an Ender 3. That's the other. It's an easy one. Did you set up your Pi 4? Carl, I did, and to be honest, the BX is misbehaving so badly at the moment. It's not even worth trying it. I'm running Octopi on it, and I'm sending the files to it, but for whatever reason, it's misbehaving something chronic. And again, it's having the time to sit there and diligently go through all the problems that we're having with that particular one. But as I say, it will get there. I mean, let's be fair. I mean, they did it with the CR6. That is a brilliant machine now, regardless of what Tripod has to say about it. But that's part of it. That's part of it, I suppose. And I think, and I honestly believe, the problems are going to be down to the firmware on the printer. It's not necessarily the printer. Thinking of jumping in with my Droid build, with the Droid build frenzy. I don't remember how much money I need for an easy small one. The one I did first. So the one I did first, I don't have any of them here because they're all in the house at the moment because I'm shipping them out to people. The controller you can pick up for about $30. The servos are about $67 each, and it's a price of a roll of filament. Tripod's still here, everybody. He's hearing what I'm saying. He's a beautiful man. So it is. You might be able to buy a receiver and a transmitter online for less money on eBay or something. You may have one already. You might have it on a different device, and then it's just a battery. So I mean, it's not a lot of money, but less than $50. Okay, we got someone joining us here. Hello.
Hello.
How you doing? All right.
Yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Hi, Marcy.
Can you hear me?
Excellent. Whereabouts are you?
I am in Nottingham.
All right. Okay, so you're in the UK. Brilliant.
Yeah.
And what printer do you have?
I've got over there.
Yep.
I got a Lotmax SC10 Shark. It's my very first 3D printer.
Yep.
I got it back in November. I've wanted one for ages. It was a Kickstarter.
Yep.
But I didn't back the Kickstarter. I got it just after it came out. And it's a really interesting one. I got it partially because you get a laser engraver with it. It's dual color as well. There's some gimmicks, but the support has been interesting. the firmware is on 0 point something. It's not open source. There's auto bed leveling with it, but it doesn't work. It makes the print quality bad. It's been an interesting learning curve.
Right, hang on a second. Then let me just see where I am. Can you tell me the name of it again?
Yeah, so it's a Lotmax, LOTMAXX Shark.
The SC10.
Shark one. Yeah, there's like 3 versions now. So there's an SC10, which is it's basically an Ender 3 clone. Then there's the Shark version 1, which is what I've got, and then the Shark version 2 has just come out. But that tends to be more. I think that's pretty much fixed the bugs without fixing it for the people that bought the first version.
Oh, is there an online community or anything like that?
There's some amazing people on Facebook. There's some great Facebook groups. They've helped me a hell of a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
To be honest, it looks kind of like a hybrid Ender. I'm looking at the Kickstarter now, although this might be the SC10. Maybe they've tried to remove it from all existence.
Yeah, maybe.
And
see if I can
also,
find it.
You know, you've got some interesting people that have reviewed this. So you've got 3D printing nerd. You've got some interesting people like have looked at that. Okay. So what problems have you got with it at the moment then?
So at the moment was my lack of patience. That was my first issue. Leveling the bed is really, really difficult. First time round. And just learning how to use a 3D printer. Now it's just getting I think what I've had for the past month or so is I've had dodgy filament and I didn't realize. So I was using some Sunny filament and it was great. And then I moved it and I got some new filament to print off some bits and pieces. And I had problem after problem, and I thought it was the extrusion, I thought it was the bed leveling. There was like a multitude of just defects on prints. I couldn't get anything to stick. But I think it's been the filament. I've asked some people who've had experience with it before.
Okay. Well, I mean, it's certainly an interesting one. Does it? Does it have 2 Z motors? What's the actual configuration of it?
So it's got 1 Z motor. It's essentially an Ender 3.
Okay.
It's got a dual. It's got a dual extruder.
Okay.
Oh, I think that's me. Hang on. Am I beeping?
So you can print two types of filament at the same time, yeah?
Yeah. So hang on. Sorry, multiple computers going.
That's all right. Oh, okay, and it's got a laser on it, and it's got like a weird hand pad thing.
Yeah, it's got a removable hand pad.
Yeah. Oh, the touch screen. Yeah, it's removable. That one's a bit.
I mean, to be fair, I mean you're right. I mean, it looks exactly like any sort of normal, any of these kind of clones that are out there. So, what the unique selling point is on Kickstarter, I don't know. It might be that it's a dual. It's a dual one, perhaps, but G-Tech are all over that at the moment with triples and all sorts of other stuff there. 300 quid.
I noticed that I think it's using old parts, so I was trying to find some new nozzles for it. So because I went for the dual color option, you only get the dual color hot end, and the nozzles for it are from the discontinued Creality CRX. So I think what they've gone and done is used a lot of old parts from the CRX that's discontinued. So it's a challenge to find new nozzles when you get lots of clogs from bad filament.
Wow, that really sucks. And I wonder as well, some of those things, certainly on the hot end, when you get 2 lots going in, you can get creep up into the other nozzle if you're not feeding both of them and stuff as well. So it's it could be I mean, the thing is that the first thing I'd suggest, forget the bed leveling, forget any of that. Just make sure that when you go into your settings, you can actually extrude filament.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've got it all working now, which is great.
It's the bed leveling.
Yeah, which I think I've got it down, and I've put in. I found it would always unlevel itself. So I've put in those silicone mounts that
Okay.
you get to try and keep it a bit more sturdy, and that seems to really help.
Yeah, I mean, what color springs is it? Is it just silver springs, or has it got a colored spring on it?
Just
Okay.
silver one.
Yes, I mean, the first thing I did so I got a refurbished printer recently from Comgrow, and that was shocking. I got it to print, but everything was bowed. So new bed, the bed was out, the heated bed was out. So glass bed I put on there. I've got clips on it now. Like you say, the springs are really important. So making sure that you've got that tolerance in the bed there, and you can actually tune that, it's going to be super, super important. So yeah, I mean, it sounds like you're halfway there, to be fair.
I think I'm there now. It's been months of like spending far too many hours at night working, trying to make something work, and then giving up and leaving it for a few weeks. But I think I'm there with it now. I've got a mirror bed as well,
Cool.
which has helped. It had a magnetic bed on it, which was really great, but I think there was a slight warp on that.
Yeah, I'm just looking into it now, and it's got a load of upgrades on it. It's got a dual geared extruder and everything as well.
Yeah, it's so I've heard people now they're getting really, really great prints. But there's things like the auto bed leveling that I was really excited about. Thought it would help. But it just leaves lots of banding. And it tries to compensate a lot and doesn't do it very well. The firmware isn't open source, and there's lots of like issues. Things aren't quite enabled. It's a version of Marlin.
Right. Okay. I mean, to be honest, if you're happy with the way the printer works, what I would do is just rip the board out and stick a Big Tree Tech board in there. And I'm sure people have already done that within that community. And the reason being is that you can then open source that printer. Hi, Tim, by the way. We are talking about this printer. We have mentioned you earlier as well about the stepper driver upgrade. So if you do want to jump on, I will just whip the link in here if you've got a spare 5 minutes to just quickly talk about that, because it's kind of relevant to this. If not, no worries. Yeah, I mean, I would probably go down the route of looking to try and upgrade that and move it away from that stock firmware and stock software and board and stuff, and probably look to push that towards Big Tree Tech is probably one of the better ones, mainly because there's plenty of support out there for the boards, and they're cheap as well.
Yeah, I think it's on my list to do. It's been a really fantastic learning curve, though. I've been working on some videos of my very first 3D printer.
Cool.
And what an interesting experience and slight disaster not knowing anything about 3D printing is.
Well, drop your channel in the links as well, so we can check that out, and we can get some subscribers over there for you, because I'll be interested in seeing how you're getting on with that.
It's empty at the moment. I'm still working on editing them, but I'll put the link in there. I'll get some pre-subscribers before any videos. If any.
Yeah. Well, again, it's all about the community, and it's all about helping people out. And again, the reason that I do this, the reason that I make these videos, even though they might be hijinks and messing around and all the rest of it, or joking with tripod or whatever it might be, I get these printers, or I buy these printers. It depends what I'm interested in. If I'm interested in them and I'm not able to acquire one, then I will normally buy one, and then also do giveaways and stuff like that. So that's part and parcel to kind of the offering, I suppose. Plus I do like 3D printing a little bit, so it's it's cool. But I'll tell you what I'll do. Let me just pull in Tim. Hello, sir.
Hey, Sam. How you doing?
Hi, Tim.
Good stuff. Now, Tim, what I wanted to talk to you about, obviously, I've got the Mega S. Now, you've called it's the i3 Mega S, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, and is that because what makes it an i3?
I don't know. That's just what they called it back when I bought them, and I think they've just changed it to the Mega S since then.
Okay, so I got the X, which as you know, because the board blew up on it, and I've replaced all that. Then I'm searching through YouTube today, and who do I stumble across? That's right, you. Yeah, and you're talking about this, but I mean the stream was 2 hours long, so I was trying to sort of whip through it to try and find the relevant part of what you did. And I saw you putting the drivers in, and I was like, right, where's the bit with the Marlin? Where's the firmware? Where do you put the bin in? And it just didn't happen, which is why I messaged you to go, hold up.
Yeah.
You just swap it.
Just swap them, and it worked. Yeah.
Really?
And I've been running, I have one, actually, if I just turn the camera a little bit, there's one just over on the side there. You can see it.
Yep.
It's got yellow filament on it. That's been running for probably a year and a half, 2 years with that swap, no problem.
Really? I mean, it's incredible. Normally it's sort of slightly more technical than that, isn't it? It's a bit of a pain, but I'm quite surprised that, that was an easy thing for you to literally just hot swap those. And I think, they're noisy, these printers. They are super, super noisy.
Yes, they are.
And there's not a lot of information out there on these Tri-Gorilla things either.
No. And all I had to do, as I mentioned to you in the message, was I had to just tune the voltage on them, or is that PID tuning, I believe. But just had to tune them to the proper voltage, and that was it. I was off to the races.
Yeah, I think it was VREF, actually. The PID tuning is
VREF. Sorry, VREF, yes.
The PID tuning is normally on the hot end. But yeah, like I say, you look and sound like Rebel Wilson, apparently.
I don't know if that's a compliment. I don't know how to take that.
No. Jerry, what are you playing at, Jerry? I hit that and I was like, is that a good thing? I don't know.
No, the camera adds multiple pounds, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's how I'm feeling right now. Good God. Yeah.
All in sandwiches,
I'm trying to work
Sam.
out an angle now. What angle don't I look like Rebel Wilson?
Wow. Oh my word. Well, it's all good anyway. So I mean, like I say, it seems to be printing like an absolute train at the moment. The difference is between the X, obviously it's bigger, and it doesn't have these rails on it either. So I was quite, it's nice to see the differences in these printers. Have you had to change a hot end or anything on it yet?
I've had to change my hot end once, but the beauty of those printers too is the hot ends are like what, $12 to get the whole hot end assembly built with the cables and the PTFE tube and everything. So it's I've had a couple where they've clogged. I've cleared the clog, and then the next time it clogged, I said, the heck with it. I just swapped it out.
Okay.
So I keep them for spare parts, and if I ever, feel the need to unclog it or take it apart. So, but they're really cheap to buy the entire hot end assembly for that one.
No, fair enough. Well, like I say, I'm impressed so far, but it's just like a lawnmower. I mean, it's so noisy, and again, a lot of this is going to be down to resonating on the metal frame, of course. It's not the drivers that are necessary; it's the motors resonating on the metal frame. I think that's really making it that noisy. But even moving the bed, slinging the bed back and forth was just noisy as well, which is incredible, absolutely incredible. But it leveled up quite nicely. They've got a sale on at the moment. They're pushing me to say that as many times as I possibly can. But what I don't do is I don't bullshit to people. It is what it is. It is noisy, and the bit that I really don't like about it is that I wouldn't want someone to go, hey, you know what, I'm going to buy that, and the first thing I'm going to do is upgrade those stepper drivers, because just provide them with bloody quiet stepper drivers. They're like nothing. They're no money.
Cost them nothing. Exactly. Yeah.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
Yeah, especially the newer. I mean, they've changed the version since my original one, and I was surprised they didn't put silent steppers in the newer ones. So,
well, I say, they sent me this board, and I was like, maybe they would have upgraded. No, in fact, one of the VREF pots was stepped off. So I was like, brilliant. That's amazing. Wow. Amazing. But it is what it is, and again, it is working now. It's printing the Egg Droid dome. It's looking good. It's looking good.
And if you do put the 22, if you do put the 22 outs in there, you're going to realize how loud their power supply fan is.
Don't say that. And I mean, that's the disappointing thing about this machine as well, is that it's a 12 volt meanwhile, not a 24 volt. And again, it's a few bucks. And I for what the cost is, certainly for the X as well, that's £450 machine.
Yeah.
It's a staggering amount of money, certainly when you compare it to the CR6SE tripod, which is, I don't know, how much does that retail for you in the US? Like $300, $350, something like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is. I'm in Canada, and they're about $480 in Canada. So,
okay. Yeah. So, I mean, even if you get a refurb of the CR6, I still think that's a good printer to go for. And I feel really bad even saying that, being that we've had to go through this journey in order to, I didn't even back that thing. I backed the bloody BQBX thing that doesn't print for anybody. it's such a shame. It's a shame that you've got to get to that frustrating part. And like you say, when you're trying something new, like a hobby, like 3D printing, and then it just isn't working. I mean, you're quite lucky, really, I suppose, because when I was first 3D printing, the boards would physically smoke when you heated up the bed.
Oh, geez.
And you'd have smoke pouring out, and you'd have, that's not as often now, but that's something you'd have quite a lot. So, it's not. It's certainly better than what it was. Certainly.
Mhm.
I was really nervous about getting a 3D printer. That I heard horror stories about houses catching on fire. I haven't done an overnight print or a print while I've gone out yet. I can't do it.
Wow. Well, I mean, I've touched wood. I've not had any major fatalities. I had some filament that got caught in this part of the hot end, and it got snagged all in the print. And that's when I was printing at work, and I came in, and there was just devastation everywhere. But now you've got things like Octoprint. You can monitor stuff remotely. There's a lot of safety implications that you can have there. And again, with the firmware, certainly if you're running a Big Tree Tech board, or if you're running decent versions of Marlin, as soon as it gets too hot, it will flag it and it will stop the print. So if you've got a reasonably good printer, and the other thing is the reason that people are putting Meanwell power supplies into these things is because the safety record on a Meanwell power supply is top notch. It's probably one of the best power supplies, certainly in a budget hobbyist machine. And I work within a recycling centre, so that we get a lot of Meanwell stuff in as scrap because it's the best of the best. So it kind of makes sense really that they'd put it into a 3D printer. But again, it's nice. It's a nicety to have when you've got that. But as you said, Tim, they need to sort these fans out. So I mean, Gary's just said thermal runaways helped a lot, and you're right, it has absolutely helped a lot. You've been printing 24/7 for years, never had an issue with thermal. Yeah, I mean, exactly. You don't want to switch that off. My longest print is 14 days, which was a version of an R2 dome. Yeah, I mean, you're lucky if you slept during prints, because you wouldn't sleep during this. This is like a tank rumbling along.
Yeah. Yep.
Man
So
alive.
is yours noisy as well then, Marcy? Because you've got the four fan system, haven't you, on your hot end?
Yeah, it's. I think it's quite quiet, but I haven't got a printer to compare it to, and often in videos you don't quite hear the fans. Like I can't hear that one, which is probably a good thing. But I think it's pretty quiet. It's in my office, and I'm working from home permanently. It's a light background noise of fans, but
Yeah, I can hear that running from here, Sam.
Oh man, it is so noisy, and of course I've got lots of other printers printing at the moment. But with the upgrade that I did on the CR10S5, which is what Mark's just bought, he's got a Big Tree Tech board. You've got silent stepper drivers, and it's so quiet. No word of a lie. You turn around and go, "Is it still printing? Is it blocked? Is there something wrong? Is it stopped?" Because you can't hear it.
Yeah.
It's insane. And those stepper drivers are just a miracle. They really are. And to change that, and I'll do a video on that, to change the annoying noises that you can hear right now. And I was glad to see your video actually, Tim, because I was like, I'm unboxing this thing tonight, and I know I've got to get some stepper drivers for it. And then I was thinking it's going to be a ball ache because it's going to be Marlin. I'm going to be piss-arsing around with that. I've got to go into a community forum for ANYCUBIC, and I'm not part of that because most of my machines are Crealities. Yeah. And you got to go through a whole ream of, how to do this. Oh, that's the wrong version. What board have you got? No. Yeah. It's the 2209s, sorry, 2208s.
Yeah.
You did.
Yeah.
It's not worth going with the 2225s or anything like that.
No, I've never used anything other than the 2208s and the ANYCUBICs.
Okay.
And I've always just bought the Arion ones.
Sure.
They've been the better price here. And I did show you in that video how not to put it in, because I actually caused one of them to smoke and blew it. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you blew the stepper.
Yeah, you might not have watched that part, but there was one time I couldn't get a reading on them, and so I thought, well, maybe I have them in backwards, and not knowing what I know now, I just turned one of the steppers over, turned it on, and then there was smoke. So
yeah, because it's not that well. With the Big Tree Tech boards, for example, they do have a color code, and that correlates to the stepper drivers, of course, the red and the blacks. But on these ones, as I noticed, because obviously I've had a look inside it and replaced the board out and stuff, doesn't have that, so it could be quite easy if the pot's around the wrong way.
Yeah,
you could be into a whole world of hate at that point.
Yeah. So I was lucky. It was just a tiny little bit of smoke.
Wow. Yeah,
but it made for a lot of views.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Yeah. Well, look, guys, if you've got any more questions or if anybody else wants to drop in, Marissa, if you want to sort of share your channel as and when you can, you're more than welcome to do that. We give you a like and a subscribe. Also, don't forget to hit up DWIT 3D as well. Tim is way on his way now to becoming the almighty 1,000 subscribers. Wow. Strong. He's going to take his shirt off and beat his chest like an angry gorilla. He's very much going to be the Tim Exotic of the 3D printing world. No tigers intended for any kind of world of hurt with that. But I'm sure we can print a gorilla or something, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. But, it's all good stuff.
And this is my full-time gig office here. I'm not at my home studio right now. I just heard your call come on, and I thought I'll just pop on real quick here. So
is it like Tarzan?
I did try and share my channel, my very empty channel, in the chat, but I don't think it lets me share a link, so I've just put it into the private chat here.
Yeah, no worries. I'll let me just share that now. Here we go. Copy and boom. Yeah, so if you'd like to see the journey of the first time 3D printer owner, I'm going to go on now and just hit that subscribe button.
Oh, thank you very
and
much.
Tim, as well, if you want to share, I can probably share it myself, actually. Adventures of 3D Printerland. I love that. There you go. We'll get you started with those bits. Tim, if you want to drop something in there as well, you're more than welcome to.
Sure, okay.
And
I'm gonna jump off of this. I've got some bits to check out, but I'll have it on in the background. Thank you so much for letting me join.
Yeah, no worries.
It's been great. You guys have kept me company through many work days.
Amazing. Keep in touch. Keep in touch. Let me know how you're getting on.
Definitely. I'll jump on more streams as well. Thank you.
Lovely. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye.
Take care.
Yeah, so tomorrow we've got the Ender 3 V2 being unboxed. This is a used machine that's been refurbished by Comgrow. I'm doing an affiliation thing with them at the moment where, if you buy, you get a discount using the code SAM, S-A-M, creative, right? So, as I say, if you're in the market for a reasonably cheap Creality machine, which you may or may not have problems with, I'm not going to dress it up, guys. It is what it is. It's a refurbished machine. So, like Tripod will tell you, if it was built on a Friday afternoon, it's probably not going to be that great. If it was a good, Wednesday 10 o'clock machine, yeah, you're probably going to be okay. But there you go. There you go. Maybe Tripod knob. Amazing. I couldn't have said it better myself, actually. Oh, dear. Yeah, don't forget to subscribe to DWIT's free printing channel as well, guys. Well, we're printing out nicely at the moment. I'm going to go back to the camera 3. Let's have a quick look over here and see what's going on. I do feel like perhaps I've got another unboxing in me tonight, but no, it's not going to work. I will. Here we go. There we go. We're going to press the lead. It's nice and it's quite quick. How do you find this machine, Tim? Is it a good?
Yeah, it's been one of my more reliable ones over the last couple of years. So, once I quieted it down, it was, I don't know, a little more tolerable. So, but no, it's been very reliable. So, I've, as I say, I've replaced the hot end once on it, and I've had the odd jam, I've had the odd filament break, but even the extruder itself, the feeder is fine. So, yeah. The thing I like about it, though, is that the replacement parts and the repair parts are really inexpensive. So, yeah.
See you later, non-stick. We're not going to be too far off the end there. I mean, like you say, the printer is reasonably expensive, I felt, for what you get. Mm-hmm. And like I say, you're going to be investing another $25 or so in Trinamic stepper drivers because you cannot live with this noise. It's just insane. No. It's insane. No. I'll get a decibel meter on it, and obviously I am going to be doing more videos on a variety of bits and pieces. I've got the VCore RatRig VCore 3 printer coming. I've got 2 of them coming, actually. Long story. And I've got the MakerMade, who are the guys that sponsored me with the CNC machine that I built. They've come out with a printer now, the 300X. So I'm really excited to see that. The guys over there are sending me one of those to try out and see what I think of it. And then hopefully I'm then also going to become a distributor for MakerMade as well. So there's a lot going on there with that. And like I say, it's nice when you've got businesses, certainly like MakerMade, certainly like RatRig. Those guys are out there and they're in it just to make a churn of 3D printers. They're not in it for that. They're in it because they love 3D printing. And again, the same thing goes for my sponsors, 3D Filler Print. They're not in it to make tons and tons of money and pimp around in Lamborghinis and all that kind of stuff. They're in it for the love of the hobby and to help people. So give them a click, have a look, see what it's all about. RatRig and MakerMade as well. Those guys are super awesome. And there we go. Anything else before we go, guys?
No.
How are you getting on with that RatRig, Sam?
Really well, but what keeps happening, as soon as I build it and then I do a review on it, they then bring a massive upgrade up. So they're on the VCore 3 now, which is totally fine. And the way the bed works is a Core XY printer. The beds will move in different configurations. So when you go to level it, it's quite a complicated way of working, but it is awesome, and it's direct drive. It's got a Bondtech extruder on it with a Slice Engineering hot end. It's not a cheap printer. It's a $1,400 printer. But it's 500, 500, 500, or 530, whichever way you want it. It's a big boy, and it's not something I can physically get in here. Although it is slightly smaller than the S5 in volume, because you don't have the bed slinging backwards and forwards, because you always get that overhang with that thing, which is really annoying. But, we don't level beds in 3D printing. Mate, I tell you what, AstroPrint, you know that all too well, brother. Oh, my word. But, or you do level prints and then you only need to do it the once, especially if you've got an S5. And make sure John has done the Z configuration change on it and he's put a belt on it, Mark, because you won't. I haven't leveled my CR10 S5 in about a year, and it just prints. You just hit the button, go. And the Z-axis, they do go out ever so slightly, and then you start getting intolerances on all sorts there. So make sure that's all good. But anyway, this has been the ANYCUBIC Mega S. I've got the ANYCUBIC Mega X over here as well. I am going to be doing an upgrade on that, thanks to Tim and his. Oh my God! Hang on a second. I was just about to go. And who pops into the room? Ladies and gentlemen, Jerry.
Hey, you can't go. You're the real Sam Prentice.
Oh, my God.
You don't sleep. Just drink more coffee. How you doing?
I'm very well, mate. Just to answer Jason's question there, when are they shipping the VCore? They're shipping to me this week. So, and then it's going to probably filter down after that. I will tell you as well, the VCore is also going to be reviewed. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this. I know it's going to be reviewed by Michael at Teaching Tech as well, because we've had conversations about that. I don't know if that's proprietary knowledge, but it is one of those things. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he makes of it. He's going in a different direction to what I'm doing, because I'm doing the next one that I'm going to do is going to be with the Duet board rather than the SKR board. I think he's going SKR. Oh my God, there's loads of people popping in now.
Yeah, we can hear the beeps.
It's Matt German. Here he is.
Hey, Matt. How you doing?
Hey,
Mark. You with?
Anyways, Sam, I got to run because
No worries, mate.
I just wanted to pop in and answer your question and just say hi for a bit. Okay.
I appreciate that, Tim. I'll see you soon, mate. See you
Catch you
Friday.
guys later.
Bye. There we go. There you go. So how you doing, Jerry?
Oh, pretty good. Just working on the motors here on the droid.
You can't help yourself.
So, yeah, lots to do.
Liam, how you doing?
Liam, how you doing?
Good.
Yeah, see, nobody wants you to get offline here, Sam. They all want you to keep going. So.
You know what? It's funny because I said to my wife, "Oh, I'll be an hour." An hour and a half ago, I suppose. But it is what it is. She knows the crack. She's probably watching.
When it comes to unboxing, I normally estimate 3 hours because that's what it really turns into.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think I could have done this one in about half an hour, but it's working. It's noisy, but it's working.
Well, there's a lot of companies don't use the silent steppers, even though they don't cost a lot more. And what's worse is they build the steppers into the board so you can't switch them out. So when you do get a manufacturer that you can switch out the steppers, you're good because you can actually go. You can buy the steppers yourself cheap. But when they
this is
build
what
them
that's
into the
got.
boards,
And it's got a Tri-Gorilla version 1.2 or whatever it is on both of these machines. So I got both of them sent to me by ANYCUBIC, and the only refreshing thing was meanwhile power supply, but it's a 12 volt and it had swappable steppers. But I thought, oh, this is probably going to be all right. And it's literally so noisy. I thought there was a problem with the machine.
it probably has the old TMCs is what's on there.
Yeah, they are. They're but according to Tim, who's got the same machine, he just swapped his ones out and he just tuned the VREFs. Job done.
Yeah, you have to. Well, I think you have to update the firmware as well, because if he doesn't recognize, no, he did it without the firmware. That's unusual.
Which I was surprised about because I watched his video and it was a long stream, a 2-hour stream. I was like, oh, I know this is going to happen. You know, this is going to be. Then he's going to get into Marlin, and then he's going to have to connect an Arduino up, or he's going to have to squirt the software in, or go through Cura, or whatever it might be. And it wasn't that at all. And I was like, oh, okay. So that's why I got him on tonight to say, look, how did that work? Because, you know, and he said, yeah, just tune the VREFs. That's it. But you know, the UI on it isn't great, but that's not what's important. What I think what's important is the quality of the prints. And at the moment, yeah, it's really good. And actually, the other
what is important. There's other printers out there that are like, I don't keep my printers. I don't stay in the same room as my printers when they're printing because I have a separate room for them that I keep them in.
Yeah,
and I don't mind it being noisy because, like, I have some printers and they're so noisy you swear a jet is landing beside them, right in the room beside you, but they print fantastic. And I'm not going to change the board over the silent steppers because they're built-in steppers, just for that, because I don't want to mess a good thing up.
No, definitely. No, you're quite right. You're quite right, actually, there with that. I mean, again, it's, you know, I probably won't. Some of the enders I won't touch again because they work really well and they're not that noisy. But once you put those silent steppers in and you've got it tuned up, it's just great. You know, the noisiest thing on your printer is your fan.
And that's air pressure. It's probably not the fan itself. It's air pressure created by the fan, because a lot, like, I have the RSD. The RSD, the fan, it's noisy, and the fans are noisy. And if you take the fans out, they're not that noisy. What's noisy is they're pushing so much air through certain areas that air pressure is what is creating the noise. It's air moving, and I'd rather have high airflow and be noisy fans than have low airflow and an overheating system that's going to die on me after a while because I burn out the steppers because it got too hot.
Of course, but the other thing to consider with that is, again, with these motors, because this is an all metal frame, you're going to get a frequency. You're going to get that resonating off of that frame. That's probably going to appear to be noisier than the motors probably actually will be.
Those linear rails that you have on the x-axis and those there, and I think they have them on the y-axis as well.
Yep.
Those rails, they're not lubricated. They're self-lubricating, and they do cause vibration if tolerance is not tight enough. So you will get some vibration. If you touch those rails, you'll probably feel some vibration coming through them when the x-axis is moving.
Yeah, there is a bit, actually.
Yeah, and that's transferring up into the rest of it. It's still because there's nothing lubricated. Where something's on wheels, the wheel ones are the ones that run on bearings. They actually run freely but those are actually frictions. They run based on friction, and that will transfer vibration.
Well, like I say, the print is actually pretty damn good, even with the vibrations. But I mean, again, I think I'm gonna buy a couple of packs of stepper drivers. I might even have some spares knocking around. Actually, I might just try them out and swap them over and see what we get. But so far, I mean, it's not a printer that I was that interested in. If I'm totally honest with you, not really. I'll be, you know, I am honest with this stuff.
Can I ask you a droid question?
Go for it.
The motor right here that I'm mounting, that doesn't have wires soldered on those leads, should I go ahead and pre-solder them about a foot long?
Yes. You won't need a
why
foot,
not.
But I've done. I don't know if you can see this one, but they're already in there, ready to go. Yeah.
solder them off, Jerry, and put some heat shrink on them as well.
Yeah. So
yeah.
at least a foot long would be plenty long then, right?
Yeah, I
it'd be long to go into the body. I mean, the foot would be more than enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Definitely.
And then I'll have to space this gear because if I put it down tight and put the set screw in, it's going to rub. So probably have it up just a hair, right?
Yeah, well, what you'll do, Jerry, is just leave it untightened completely. And when you install it into the body, you'll push that right up against it. And
adjust it.
The screws go in, and then you adjust that that nodule at the front.
Don't
Changes.
do it up dead tight, though. All the way up tight, though, Jerry. Don't try and squash it dead tight in together. Leave a bit of slack.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
It might be worth putting some thermal grease in there or something like that, or some what do they call it, white grease.
No, what about using white
PP20
dry loop PTFE?
Yeah, that'd work. That'd work.
Yeah,
Okay.
no grease because grease picks up dust. Dry loop PTFE, spray it on both components, and actually that will give you the friction, the lack of friction. It'll still grip because the gears engage, but it'll actually give you that it will give you that ability to play, so it won't lock up on you.
Hello, Maker Viking. Does my mic still sound muffled?
No, it sounds okay.
Okay, because the other day I rewatched my video and it was really muffled, and I'm not happy with how it's set up, but I'm trying to get my sound right.
Have you tried singing with it?
Hello, how are you?
Sam,
Welcome, it's the real Sam.
Should have heard him this morning. He was like, he had music in the background. It was awful.
Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening. This is the real Sam Prentice. Anyway.
Wow. Yeah, let's not quit your day job, eh, Jerry? Yeah. Keep that printing up, mate. My word. Yeah. There you go. Okay, so look, I'm gonna shoot because I've got another live stream tomorrow. I'm going to be unboxing the V2.
Did that come through properly?
Well, I think it was through your mic, but yeah, it was.
Okay.
Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, as you know, I've been messing around with my stuff today, and I might do I was thinking, and I know it sounds a bit weird, but I might do a rap, just a kind of like Mickey take rap about 3D printing. I just kind of thought I've come up with some lyrics which actually have some relevance to Joe Telling, and I'm not taking the piss out of him or anything like that, but it was just like a flow that I had, and I thought that could be quite funny if I kind of mix that down. So you might see something soon that is maybe a little bit out there and a little bit amusing. So watch this space. Watch this space.
I noticed in a couple of his comments he's used the word milk dudes, because in one of the letters I sent him I pronounced milk duds wrong. I typed it wrong and I put dudes, and he's been saying that a lot lately. So I guess it's stuck.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it. I don't normally get to see his channel when he's doing stuff live. I know he was on with somebody the other day, but it's like I say, there's so many people doing 3D printing stuff, and it's quite difficult to catch up with who's doing what. And actually, there's one guy that I follow, and he has really low sub counts, but the stuff that he does, which is basically marling and how to do this and how to do that on your 3D printer, it's really, really interesting. But you have to sit there and not move and watch what he's doing to understand exactly what it's all about. But it's a real shame that is, milking dudes. Sorry. Yeah. Watch out for that, Jerry. It's a Vegas thing, right?
He was on with Jim at the Edge of Tech the other day is where he was.
That's right. Yeah. I haven't watched that one yet either. I've been too infused with.
If you make fun of him, he will like it, and he will probably show it on his channel as well. So, and he'll tweet it out if it's funny if you make fun of him. So yeah, he's easy going like that.
That's good. I've had a few tweets back and forth with him as well a few times, but like I say, I'm sure no, milking dudes is not a Vegas thing. I'm sure our paths will cross sooner or later anyway, and I hope they do. But again, like Michael from Teaching Tech, top guy, real top guy.
I like Michael.
I've had a few emails back and forth with him, and just a down to earth dude. Just
I had him on live with last year, and then he dropped in one of my hangouts a while back. I got a hold of a bunch of people. I PM'd them and tried to get everybody together. But Chris Riley, I didn't give him enough notice, and he couldn't come in and talk. So
yeah, that's good. Well, anyway, guys, look, I'm going to be back tomorrow unboxing yet more printers. I cannot wait and I've set up a whole load of new racking up here to basically put placement in for these printers. Then I've got Octopi to set up on every single one of them because, you know, that's what I'm going to be doing. So fun and games, no doubt. We will see you next time. Thank you for tuning in, and links are in the description. Please hit that subscribe button and considering maybe liking it or hitting that notification bell. We'll see you next time. Wow. See you later.
Take care.
Bye.